Hi there, and welcome back to rLounge. Today, we see just how pissed off people get when you treat them how they treat you. No a-holes here, just bosses. Up first, OP's sister-in-law has the worst memory. Am I the a-hole for bringing my sister-in-law's wallet to the restaurant when she conveniently always forgets it? My female 28 sister-in-law, Amy, female 26, always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet, or dumbs up with some excuses as to why she can't pay her share. She has implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I have just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back. She never has. She had made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I wouldn't be paying her bill. This is where I might be the a-hole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from an episode of 2.5 Men. As we were leaving, her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse, and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said no, we need one bill, because she forgot her wallet again. I reached in my purse and said, "This wallet?" She was extremely furious, said that I should not have touched or grabbed her wallet. So, am I the a-hole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant? Edit. Wow, thanks for all the awards. Jeez. So many comments that I can't keep up, but thank you to everyone who had something to say. Edit 2. Amy just called me. She saw this post and she yelled at me for bad-mouthing her on the internet. Honestly, I don't care. Amy, hopefully reading all these comments is a wake-up call for you. Let's see what some of these comments are, shall we? Jizzy Lizzie says, "Not the a-hole, but you totally should have flipped the switch. Left your wallet at home. Only brought your license, so she had to cover the whole bill, and then never taken her out to a restaurant again." The OP replies, "Wish I had thought of that." Bitter Conflict 4089 says, "She made the reservation and invited you. Etiquette says she would be responsible for 100% of that bill, not the a-hole." High on Acrylic says, It's the same principle with dates. The person who asks chooses the restaurant, ideally with the other person in mind, and then pays the bill, not the a-hole." High on Acrylic says, It's the same principle with dates. The person who asks chooses the restaurant, ideally with the other person in mind, and then pays the bill, not the a-hole." Clarification. I worded this kind of poorly. This is my own approach to dates, but whatever works for you and the people you date is cool. Tempting Penguin 369 says, "Not the a-hole. Awesome power move. But when is your husband going to step up and make her pay her share?" The OP replies, "They've bullied and manipulated him like this his whole life. He's gotten so used to it that he doesn't see the bigger issue. Old habits die hard. Trying to help him stand up for himself, but it's an uphill battle." DNR My DNA says, "Not the a-hole. That was a boss move. But if you want to keep it up without getting accused of touching her things, when you're in the car, don't let your husband start driving until she shows you she has her wallet on her. You told her right up front, 'I'm not paying this time,' and she tried to push you into it. Honestly, I don't know why you keep going out with her. Cancel. Or insist your husband pays. Like, what does he say about all this? Because he needs to have a chat with his sister about how she's abusing your generosity. Next time she stays and says there's a reservation, 'Oh, hey, I hope you guys have a nice time.' Yeah, I'm not going. I'm getting tired of people who aren't my husband continuously trying to screw me." ETA, in regards to OP's edit, Amy, your sister-in-law, couldn't badmouth you if you didn't give her plenty of ammo. You're saying she's badmouthing you? She's just telling people what you did. If you feel some kind of way about it, that means you're aware that you've done effed up. Stop being mad at other people for reacting to your crappy behavior. Change your crappy behavior. Grow as a person. You aren't the a-hole at all, OP. That's a serious power move on your part. If she made the reservation, I feel as though I'd be expecting her to pay. She shouldn't just be expecting you to pay for her all the time. It doesn't matter if you make more money or not. And two can easily play at that game. If she's purposely leaving her wallet at home, then dang, you can purposely go and pick it up for her. She was furious because she wasn't expecting someone to call her out on her BS. Not anymore. Hopefully this is a wake-up call for her indeed. Update. Some answers to common questions. Why does dear husband keep letting Amy in? Without getting into too much detail, he has always been expected to pay for nice things for the females in his family. He's also been kind of scammed out of large sums of money by his family. That's slowly been shut down over time, and we're working on shutting down this dinner outings thing. He allows this because he feels bad that they don't have a lot of money. It's sad, but that's how his family got along for a very long time, being dishonest about anything and everything to get their hands on some extra money or extra financial help. I could write a book on some of the things I've seen them do over the years. It hasn't been easy to show these people how wrong this is. He has talked to Amy about being cheap, has had to come to Jesus talks with her, and genuinely has always felt that each next time would be different. We've been in therapy addressing this, and he's learned to set boundaries. This restaurant thing is a boundary that he hadn't yet set. It's hard to set all boundaries all at once when you actually had no clue what boundaries were, and have had no boundaries for years. Does he pay too? We are married. My money is his money. When I mentioned Amy specifies I should pay, I meant more that she specifies since I make good money, we as a whole shouldn't be cheap. What was the point if you ended up paying? I knew Amy wasn't going to pay. She always finds a way not to pay. I went to the restaurant fully expecting to foot the bill. I did this because I saw it on a show and thought it would be funny to do in real life, to be completely honest. The point wasn't really to get her to pay. It was more to show her that the forgot my wallet excuse was getting old. Is Amy banned from visiting? Fortunately, this post turned out to be a good thing. Dear husband has always had it in his head that Amy is a good person and has her reasons for being sneaky and cheap, like I mentioned above. In his head, it's not her fault she is the way she is. It's the circumstances of their upbringing that caused her to make bad decisions. But seeing Amy's reply to my post and people's response to Amy has really changed his thinking. That's the first time Amy has outright admitted that she's purposely taking advantage. Reading some of the other comments has also been eye-opening for him. So, dear husband has told Amy that she's not welcome here, at least not for a long while. Judgment. Thanks for lots of not the a-holes, but I liked one commenter's, sometimes it's okay to be the ass. I think that's exactly what it was here. It was an A move, but also outweighed by Amy's a-holery. Thanks again. This is the end of this. I won't be giving any more updates or comments. I don't think it was an A move at all, OP. I think you had to do what you had to do. Sometimes people need to be called out. No more freebies for Amy. What would you have done? Next up, the Golden Child's 15 minutes of fame. Am I the a-hole for leaving my sister's singing performance after she got tickets for others but not for me? My, female 30, sister, 23 female, Sandra, is building a career as a singer in a band. She got a gig at a club and she invited her whole family, parents, siblings, to attend via group text. We all said yes and planned to go all together. We are all very supportive of her and she's landed some great gigs. I always go to her performances when I can, even though it's hard to get out sometimes because I have young kids. When I go to the club, I saw my parents, my brother, my sister, and their respective boyfriend and girlfriend had all just arrived. I thought, great, we'll all go in together. We all went to the entrance, and the whole group skipped the line waiting to buy a ticket to get in, and went straight to the entrance. I asked them what was happening, and they told me we're on the guest list and didn't have to wait in line. When we get to the entrance, everyone's names were on the guest list, except for mine. I was told to go to the other lineup and wait my turn. At the same moment, Sandra popped out of the club to welcome everyone in. I asked her why I wasn't on the guest list too. She just kind of made an awkward, embarrassed face and said, sorry, quietly, then went back in with the rest of the group. I felt kind of insulted, but I stayed and paid for my ticket to get into the club. I figured I would join the rest of the group once I was in. Well, when I got in, the rest of the group was in a VIP section of the club, and I was not allowed in. My brother and his girlfriend tried to argue to let me in, but the people at the club wouldn't allow it. Sandra came around again when she heard the arguments, and I immediately asked her why she didn't include me in the guest list. She told me she only had 6 tickets and figured it would be weird to split up one of the couples, so she let me buy my own. At this point, I felt really dry, so I said, wow, alright, I'm not going to stay at this club anymore, so I'm going to split. Good luck tonight. And I left and went home without waiting for her to answer. Apparently, my brother and his girlfriend left shortly after me as well. He was under the impression that Sandra had gotten us all tickets, and he felt like Sandra leaving me to be alone was not cool. After the show, I got a text from my mom saying that I was being dramatic by leaving and left my sister feeling nervous and unhappy right before a performance. She said I should have just stayed to support my sister and not made a big scene, which I don't think I did, but anyway. She said if I had waited, someone from the group would have left the VIP to join me, so I wouldn't have been alone. So what's your judgment here? Ask for judgment from the audience, you're gonna get it. Major Barnacle 2212 says, not the a-hole. She should have at least told you the situation, but you have every right to feel as left out as you literally were. Also, Betty Mom has a history of siding with sis. The OP replies, oh yeah, she's the baby, the golden child. That's why sometimes it's hard to tell if I'm being an a-hole or if they are. Skip Doo chimes in, props to your brother for having your back. The rest of your family sucks. I feel like your sister could have avoided the awkwardness just by confronting the family about the ticket situation to begin with. I feel like it would have been fair to even have let your mom and dad enjoy the VIP experience, since they're your mom and dad, and then have others purchase a ticket so that you could all sit together. Her not explaining the situation instantly looks very bad on her part. Also, your sister is in control of her own feelings. You did nothing wrong. You leaving doesn't mean she felt any more nervous than she already did before the performance. It boils down to really poor communication amongst everyone. What are your thoughts? Thank you for joining us today on rLounge. Before you go, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you have something you want to say regarding today's content, share that with us in the comments below. Until next time.